Hello everyone, I'm Lindsay Sadler from the Love Ladies Grantham Group and I run a Thermomix business. I'm a trained chef. I said no to these machines for about 5 years until I finally saw one in action and I was totally blown away by it, and that is why I'm passionate about demonstrating what they can do now. So today I have a couple of very quick festive recipes for you. I'm very excited because I'm going to be making mincemeat actually for the first time ever. Yes, I'm a chef, I could make it, but I usually buy it. So I'm going to show you how easy, and myself actually, how easy it is to make your own mincemeat in the Thermomix. And then I'm going to make a curried parsnip soup. In fact, I'm going to make the soup first because I want to get that underway. And then I'll have a little chat to you and tell you a bit more about what Thermomix is about. So you can see I've got a couple of machines behind me. They just look a little bit different. One's the slightly older model, but it just speeds things up for the purposes of the demo. So what I'm going to do, I've already got my recipes loaded onto the screen. So you see that we've got a touch screen here, and I'll show you that in a little bit more detail when I come to do the mincemeat. But this touchscreen walks me step by step through the recipe. So if I bring you over, this is the recipe for curry parsnip soup, and it gives me all my instructions. So the first instruction is to place 350 grams of parsnips into the machine, cut in pieces. And I've got weighing scales there, so I can just weigh straight in. So what I'm going to do is put in my parsnips. I've already peeled and cut them into chunks just to speed things up a little bit this afternoon. So let's get those into the machine. Okay, it's just slightly over, that doesn't matter. And then 60 grams of onions. So the onions go in. Now this is the easiest soup you will ever see made, and it's absolutely delicious. I often do this at demos, face-to-face demos as well, just because it's so quick and people can't actually believe how it tastes actually, what the result you get for how little effort has gone into it. So a teaspoon of curry powder. Now I'm also just going to add a little bit of my own curry powder in here. So I toast and grind my own spice blends as well, which is in the Thermomix, which is one of the main benefits of it. So when you're making a curry, you can do everything from making your own spice blends up to spice pastes, and then it will take over and cook the curry for you as well. So my 14-year-old son has been cooking curry single-handedly since he was just over 11, just using the Thermomix to guide him through it. So that's gone in. So I'm just going to add in some olive oil. So it's asking me to add the olive oil. So that just gets put in. 50 grams of olive oil. I'm not putting in quite that much. You can use butter as well. Click on next. And now it's telling me to put the lid on. So let's take the lid off of that one because I can't see my lid to hand for the moment. I think it's on my washing up wrap. Insert the measuring cup into the lid. Just means put this little thing on in the middle, and now it's going to chop it all up. There we are. So it's chopped all that up in, I think that was about 5 or 6 seconds, something like that. And this is what it's managed to do to it in 5 or 6 seconds. Now, this is where the Thermomix really comes into its own, because it's actually now going to cook that for you. If I can find a spatula, I just want to scrape down the sides. It's going to cook that for you. Already smells absolutely amazing. There we are. So what I'm going to do, it's given me the instruction to scrape down the sides. So these are really, really designed for people in mind that need a little bit of helping hand in the kitchen. Children can use them to cook from healthy meals from scratch themselves. And now all I've got to do is just turn that speed selector dial to start the cooking process. So I'm going to show you, I've got 5 minutes on the clock. 100 degrees, speed 1. So it's cooking for me. And that is where the Thermomix really comes into its own. So that's a big difference between a Thermomix and a food processor as it cooks. The other difference is that you've got this amazing touch screen on here. You can plan your food out. So you can do a daily, weekly, monthly planner. From that, you can create an ingredients shopping list. Then you can sync that shopping list with your online shopping provider and get your ingredients delivered directly to your door. So that's been really popular in lockdown. So here we go. Here's my mincemeat recipe. I know it's probably looking back to front on your screen. So it's going to give me my first instruction, which is to weigh in 50 grams of sugar. So let's get going. The clock ticking down. Last week I ran over a little bit. So I'm determined to stick to the time this week. So I put my 50 grams of sugar in. Now I just need to use regular white granulated sugar, because actually when you've got a Thermomix, You can make your caster sugar and your icing sugar in a matter of seconds. It is a real time saver and it's a real cost saver as well. So now it's asking me to put the lemon peel and some orange peel in. So that goes in. Right, lid on. Just need my insert. Here it is. Click on next. So the lemon and orange peel go in. Then it's going to grind it in 20 seconds into a very, very fine powder, just like icing sugar. So there we go. I've got about 5 minutes left, just enough time, hopefully, to make this recipe. Okay. Like I said, it's very exciting because I've never done mincemeat before. I hope that's not too loud. I've got my parsnips cooking away on the machine next to me. All we're going to do after that is add some stock. Right, the sugar's been ground up. Now it wants me to add some suet to the mixture. Now I had a bit of a panic this morning when I realised I'd actually forgotten to buy this in the supermarket at 7 o'clock this morning. But as luck would have it, I found a couple of boxes lurking in the back of my cupboard. So it's probably horribly out of date, but I'm sure it's fine. It's all dry. So let me just show you what's happened to that zest. So that's a lot quicker than using a zester to take the fine peel off a lemon or an orange. So I'm going to weigh straight in. So 100 grams of suet just goes in. So let's just open it up a little bit more quickly. So that can go in, 100 grams. So the scales are just weighing for me, so I don't need a separate set of weighing scales. There we are. 100 grams of suet. Right, 100 grams of cooking apples. So they're going in too. Now I did cut them up earlier. 100 grams of cooking apples, 30 grams of lemon juice. So here's my lemon juice. In it goes. 30 grams of orange juice, exactly the same. Oh, I've gone a little bit over there, never mind. And then put the lid on. Click on next, and I think it's going to mix it all round together. So for 4 seconds we've got it mixing. Or chopping it all together. Okay, so click on next. Now it's telling me to scrape down the sides. It smells amazing already. Here we go. Scrape down those sides. I didn't need to take it off, I just thought I'd show you what it looks like. Add 100 grams of currants. Now I actually couldn't find currants this morning, so I'm just going to add in a weight between sultanas and raisins. So the next instruction is to add 100 grams of sultanas. So I'm going to put about 150 grams in. I haven't actually opened this very well. There we are. Pop that down. And then if I click on next, my next instruction should be 100 grams of raisins. So my 150 grams of raisins, just to allow for the fact that I don't have those currants, are going in. 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. So I couldn't believe it's as easy as this to make your own mincemeat. And it tastes so nice. So here's my mixed spice, just gone straight in. And this recipe is available as a step-by-step recipe on the screen. Okay, so now all it's going to do, I'm just going to check, because I know I need to add some brandy at some point. I'm just going to check I haven't put my fingers, no, add almonds and brandy at the end. Okay, doing it too quickly. So now, if I just bring you very quickly over to my screen. Hi Lynn, thanks for watching. You'll see I've got my preset recipe for 5 minutes. It's 100 degrees. And I'm just going to turn this to stir, a gentle stir. So that's going to heat the orange juice. What else did we put there? The spices, the raisins, the dried fruit, all together for 5 minutes. At the end of that, I'm just going to weigh in the brandy and the flaked almonds and then put it in a jar. And that's mincemeat. So the final step on my soup, it's sautéed away for 5 minutes, is to add some stock. So let's just show you that. There's my parsnips, you can see the steam coming off them, and the onions. I'm just going to weigh in my stock. So stock goes in, 750 grams. Perfect. And then I'm going to add a little teaspoon of my homemade vegetable stock paste. Again, another brilliant thing that you can make in your Thermomix, lots of leftover vegetables. Saves you from buying them, saves on the plastic, saves on the cost as well, and it's full of natural ingredients and tastes delicious. Click on next, Add some salt. I'm not going to do that actually because my stock is very salty. And again, you can just amend these recipes to suit your own requirements. So if you're gluten-free or dairy-free, or if you want to reduce the salt, it's not a problem. And then all I've got to do to make that soup is now turn that speed selector so it cooks away for 12 minutes at 100 degrees. And after that, I'm just going to blend it. And that's all that's involved. So that is super fast curried parsnip soup in less than 20 minutes. And my homemade mincemeat in 5 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed that live. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about Thermomix. I've got a full demo of around an hour on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. So I'll post the link on the main Love Ladies group. Thermomix has changed my life. It's changed the life of all my customers. I love this machine. I came full circle on it because I said I'd never have one, and now I have 3, and they are an absolute lifesaver in the kitchens. They make a fantastic present for yourself or a loved one as well this Christmas. So I would love to talk to you a little bit more about how buying a Thermomix will change your lives forever. Thank you very much.